Hello, my fellow readers. I Dark Symphony 777 with another fan fiction reading. As always, a link to the stories will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications. Leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts on the story. And finally, this is my opinion. My opinion is not indicative of the world, so please respect that. So, I am doing 2 stories today, mainly because I'm still kind of behind on the Frozen fic. I'm on like chapter 61, 62 around there, so I'm like more than halfway. And that would be fine if not for the fact I have a fucking longer story, like, right after. So, to kind of pass by this week, I'm going to do, like, 3 readings. Third one's going to be in his own video, but this video is going to contain these 2 stories. Stargazer, and Finally in Daddy's Arms by Super Mario Bros. Ultimate. They're more Pearl stories. He asked me to review them, I think, long ago. And honest to God, I kind of forgot about them. He reminded me I think like a week or 2 ago, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I did say I would do those." So here we are. So, ready? Let's go. To my amazing cousin. Hi, how are you been? Been a while, and I'm happy you wrote to me again. I was fascinated by what you wrote regarding this surface world, and I wanted to experience that myself, so I went exploring. It took me days, but I finally found one of those crystal pipes you mentioned. A bit much for me at first. The loud noises, the brightness, strange people. It was a lot. But I knew that if you liked it, I would too. So I spent some time in the library to try and learn as much as I could. And that's when I discovered the thing that really drew me in. Stars. I want to tell you everything I learned. You're not too busy? Gotta meet up tonight. I'll be just outside of Town, sitting by the tree on the hill, under the stars. Hope to see you there. Tell my aunts I said hi. With love, Platinum. Okay. That night, Platinum sat under the lone tree on the hill in question, awaiting his guest to honor, or at least he hoping she'd show up. Platinum was an underworlder no older than 6, and was the Prince of Rokrosia, known for his warm pink glow at night, and his higher altitude compared to Crystalia, the underworld's capital. He has grey skin of a darker variety, and a pair of eyes and mouth that glowed a deep blue, and spiked crystal hair of an even deeper blue that was mostly covered by his white cap, with midnight blue stripes and a matching blue brim. He also wore a white scarf with a blue star pattern and a deep blue sweater with a white star pattern. A few pockets, star-shaped cerulean brooch, finished off with blue shorts and a set of deep blue shoes, with socks that also had. Oh god, that's so much blue! So much blue! The glow on his hair the night illuminated the tree bark as he read one of the books he rented from the library to pass the time. It was so hard to read at night. Thanks to the glow of his eyes. It was a book on the subject called Astronomy. The study of space, the stars, planets, and the universe as a whole. There are so many amazing facts that was out there beyond this planet. One of them being how a collection of stars form what a universe calls a galaxy. There are billions out there. No Platinum could even comprehend. And this very planet rested within the galaxy. The Good Egg Galaxy. Oh. I guess you want to say it like that. Granted, there's always the Milky Way, but Good Egg makes sense. Knowing Mario Galaxy topography. Now that was something. Because the discovery of this very surface world was wild enough. The fact that there is uncountable amount of the worlds out there, the floodgate of possibilities had opened tenfold. Platinum wished he could go out there and see the vastness of space for himself. Then again, this world certainly had its charm. Especially at night with the glowing yellow dots that would fly by him once in a while. The oddly peaceful sound of what sounded like clinking off in the distance. It was very common to him, even if he didn't quite understand it. Ho ho ho. Huh? Platinum looked around. Was someone talking to him? It certainly didn't sound like the person he was expecting. But he might as well talk to anyone passing by since he was starting to get bored. Hello? Ooh, ooh, ooh. He looked up and found the source of the voice sitting on a branch of a tree. Some kind of winged creature with a beak and tiny staring eyes. Hello. Do you live here? Platinum spoke. Sorry, I'm just waiting for someone. Brr, brr. Me? I'm Platinum. What's your name? Brr, brr, brr. The prince filled a brow. Did you hear me? I said, I'm Platinum. What's your name? The creature stared for a little longer, a gaze that slightly frightened the boy. Then it flew away. Okay, then. Platinum just resumed his book to forget what happened. Yeah, this world certainly had its beauty, but also its odysseys. He decided to just leave that to his cousin to learn about. Speaking of his cousin, where was she? He just about finished reading the book, but still no sign of her. Is she coming at all? She's probably busy, Platinum sighed and shut the book. Maybe try this again another time. No, maybe not. Bill mentioned making new friends in her letter about the surface. Perhaps she moved on because they were more fun to play with than he ever was. He was brought to tears at the thought. He was about to pack it in for the night and hit home, only for his vision to go all dark of a sudden. What was happening? Was he being kidnapped? Hey, what's happening? Guess who? Said a sweet, energetic, girlish voice that always brought the underwater prince joy to hear. Platinum chuckled, deciding to play along. Let me think. The coolest kid to ever walk the underworld? The kid in question uncovered his eyes, and lo and behold, it was Silly, the amazing cousin Pearl, in all her radiant red and pinks that would blend well with Raposia. Her smile was the brightest it had ever been, as Platinum could remember, as she locked him in one big lump. Platy! Her cousin held her cousin. I fucked that up. I fucked that up! Pearl held her cousin in a tight glove that restrained his arms. I miss you, I missed you, I missed you. It's been forever. I missed you too. Pearl. He huffed in the tight grasp. Can you let me go? Tight, tight. Pearl quickly let him go and let the prince catch his breath. I'm sorry. I guess my friend Belle's just been rubbing off on me lately. She's really strong. Pearl remarked with a sheepish rub on her head. Platinum let himself catch his breath for a moment and then hugged his cousin back, albeit more gently. I'm glad you came. You were too busy. I always have time for you, Platy. Platy, Pearl said as she returned a more graceful hug. We have so much to catch up on. We shall do, huh? Platinum rubbed his shoulders. So, Platy? Still calling me that? I told you Platy's just fine. Oh, I like Platy. Pearl looked on a sad, pouty face with big, sparkly eyes that hinted at a touch of playfulness. It was Platinum to say no to that. Okay. You can call me Platy. Platinum gave in with a playful roll of his eyes. Yay! Pearl cheered again and sat down with her cousin. So, how are Aunt Amethyst and Uncle Sapphire doing? Well, they're doing great. Mom's been helping me with my homeschooling. Dad recently found a new mystic stone sculpture. He said he'd like you to see it sometime. Platinum twiddled his thumbs as he thought about what to say next. What about Uncle Ruby? Aunt Ruby and Uncle Garnet. Oh, they're great too. I've been telling them all about my surface adventures, and they were very interested. I was even considering an alliance with the Mushroom Kingdom, enthusiast Pearl. I hope it goes through. I want everyone to experience this amazing place. If they like it here as much as I do, I'm ready to believe that everyone will love it. I don't know. Pearl stopped himself. Maybe she just let Pearl hold on to that confident energy she had. After all, it was part of what made Pearl, well, Pearl. Never mind. What about Aunt Obsidia? She gotten off her couch lately? Same as ever. I told her I was visiting you just before I left, and she went on a funny rant again. Pearl cleared her throat and pulled off her hair down to mimic Obsidia's bang, all while imitating her voice. Nephew, I wish you'd be more like. Too bad you ruin him whenever you're around. Why can't you keep quiet and respectable, young lady? Blah 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 blah. Pearl changed her hair back to normal while she laughed, as did Platinum. She never really does change, huh? Not that Platinum really minded Aunt Obsidia the way she was all that much. He knew Aunt Ruby's relationship with her was strained, but Obsidia was at least relatively nice to him. He remembered the last time he saw her, how they both discussed how tough it was being part of a royal family and how much was expected of them. Of course, Platinum didn't want to become the next Obsidia and just gave up, but he could at least say she wasn't really a bad person. Nope, still gotta love her though, Pearl smiled. So you wanted to show me these stars, huh? Where are they? Pearl looked around the horizon, spotting the glowing yellow lights floating nearby. Whoa, are those stars? They're pretty. Kind of look like sparkles. She tried to grab them, only for them to fly away. Hey, wait. No, those are nights, but no, the stars are up there. Platinum tilted his head up, prompting Pearl to follow suit. Her eyes were met with one of the most gorgeous sights she's seen in this world yet. Above her were dozens, no hundreds, soon maybe thousands of little sparkly decorating the night ceiling. They twinkled and shimmered in all sorts of shapes, colors, and sizes like distant ceiling crystals, and yet all somehow looked even prettier than those. Pearl had seen a few of these before at nights on the surface. They were simply few and small, and that Pearl had just assumed that they were just distant ceiling crystals and nothing significant. This, however, this was something to ignore or let go unanswered. Uh, there's so many of them. Kind of yawning. Sorry about that. Pearl sprang up and observed. Look at all those stars on the ceilings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, did I already count that one? You don't waste your time, like, you don't waste the whole night trying to count all of them, said Platinum with a slight chuckle. Not only at the counting attempt, but also at the fact that she called the sky a ceiling. He learned in the library that was anything but. Just enjoy the view. Yeah, you're right. Pearl replied sheepishly and sat back down. The surface world keeps surprising me every day. I love this place so much. You think that's surprising? The library not only taught me that these were called stars, but there's so much more to them than just looking pretty. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll start from the beginning. Story time. I never told you this, but behind my family's castle, above the lake, there's a hole in the ceiling. It isn't noticeable during the day. It just looks about the shine of any other crystal, and sometimes water drifts water from it. At night, clear out to reveal these tiny shinies within it. I discovered this one night about a year ago when I was looking at it through my telescope. Loved it. Looked like the shinies still operating my clues. Something about them made me eager to learn more. Nights, sneak out to bed, try and get a good look at those shinies. I wasn't always lucky. Sometimes the hole just looked straight black. Water would be dripping in from it. But lucky to see them. I just wondered. Where are they? I thought I'd never find the answer until you said that letter. Yeah, it's one of those happenstance. I remember when I was a kid. Sorry for going off tangent, but this is actually interesting. Like the whole, oh, I didn't know what they were looking because he's underground and all that. I remember when I was a kid that I brushed my laptop thing. I remember when I was a kid. I was living with my grandparents. When I was growing up, I lived with my grandparents because my mom only recently moved to Florida in like the 90s because she didn't want to live in New York. So in essence, we technically stopped living at my grandparents' house. What I did sometimes is at like 4 in the morning, I would actually wake up because I knew in the 90s there was actually three Disney shows. There was Disney Junior, there was Disney, and then there was Walt Disney Channel. And for a couple hours, at the wee hours, like around 3, I believe it was 3 to 7 in the morning, the Walt Disney Channel. Disney would become the Walt Disney Channel. And the reason I stayed up that late, woke up that early, is so I can actually wake up and watch the Walt Disney Channel. I saw like a lot of old cartoons, the Ink and Punk Club. I did see a movie from there. It was what movie was it? It was a musical about a newsletter. I can't remember what it was called. I know it was very popular. I think it was like Newspeak or something like that. I forgot the name. I just know it was very popular at the time, and I loved watching it. And I only really did that because I knew for a fact my grandparents would be going out to like go to the casino and stuff like that. They were retired, so they can just afford it. So they just went for a couple hours. I just really stayed up there to watch the Evening Club, but I really liked watching it. And then eventually it stopped for some reason. I don't know why. It's good memories. It's fun looking back in the past and seeing stuff like this when you see like a wonder of a kid. Because sometimes you're just gonna wonder like, what's this? What's that? And all that. This reminded me of back then. That's all I'm saying. Back to the story. So I got to the library and I found the book about the stars. It's open wide. I knew it. That's the thing I was looking for. Get this. Get this. Get this. These bright and shiny stars you see, they aren't just some ceiling crystals. They're actually these massive balls of glass glowing billions of miles away. Pearl held an arm to her mouth while audibly whizzing. Yep, she was holding a huge laugh back. What? Paul's like, "That's you're making stuff up. There's no way." That's what the book said. That's Lexmarian. It was true. I need to ask Brooke about this. Seriously, this is crazy even for this world. Somewhere Brooke is probably sneezing. Someone's talking about me. Pearl fell to her back laughing so hard. She probably bumped her head on the tree if not for her hair protecting it. And you say they're billions of miles away? I'll say I count that high. Is that they're 1187? Now it's Platinum's turn to Google. What kind of number is that? Accusing me of making stuff up? Come on, cuz. Platty. So what else did you learn? More than you think. Apparently all these stars were little creatures called Lumas. Platinum began. They can transform into anything. Stars. Planets. Or even power stars. There's the stones we keep in the underground were probably once Lumas too. Probably not. Probably. Even better. Blowing the stuff for a while. Oh yeah. Sun? Huh? You mean that really bright yellow ball that shows up during the day? Pearl asked. Yes, that's a star. It's the only one that can be seen during the day because it's so close and bright. And it very well revolves around it like a miracle. No way, Pearl gawked in disbelief. Then she felt the laugh rise again. So, you're saying we're on one big merry-go-round around a ball of gas? Pearl fell over again, banging her spiked hair on the tree as she let out a laughing storm rage. Not that it would hurt to rockhead anyway. Yes, what? Platinum phoned. That Maripus you mentioned, Canada. Space. He's a planets revolving around the other stars. Platinum stood up and smiled. It's a huge universe out there. Lots of galaxies. I want to go up there and see them one day. Pearl was so mind-boggled at this revelation that she stumbled back into the trees. Seriously, the discovery of this world was wild enough, but the thought there would be even more worlds out there that Mario had been to before? This was nuts. Pearl was so mind-boggled at this revelation that she... Oh, wait, I already read that. Wow, Platinum. I didn't think you even make a wilder discovery than me. Pearl rubbed her head. I'm a little jealous. Don't be. I have you to thank. I wouldn't have found all this. I said this before. You really are the best cousin I could ever ask. Thank you. Platinum's hair glimmered as he expressed his gratitude, and Pearl couldn't be more grateful. It was nothing, Platty. I'm happy for you. Pearl hugged him again. Still, the fact that there are more worlds out there. I still have so much to learn about this world. How to even start out in this universe place. You don't need to worry. I'm the one studying it. Let's make a deal, suggested Platinum. You keep learning about new things about the surface. I keep learning new things about space. And every time we meet, we'll tell each other what we learned. It's a deal! Pearl shook her cousin's hand. We're almost like a group of study buddies in that way. This will be fun. Yes! Platinum agreed. It's fun enough. It's kind of make me hungry. Have you tried surface food yet? It's amazing. Pearl led him to town. I know a good pizza place in town. It's really tasty. As long as you don't order too many toppings on it. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Still referencing the YouTube. Whoop. I trust you, cousin. Platinum smiled as he followed Pearl to Toad Town. That's that story. I liked it. I think it's not... There's nothing too complex about it. It's unique. I like Platinum. The small snippet we get of him being like more wise. He bounces off Pearl pretty well. So let's actually get to the next one. Finally in Daddy's arms. Let's do this. It was another day in Inigo. Igneo. No idea why I mispronounced that. The Underworld City was one of the most populous cities in the whole kingdom aside from Crystallia itself. Known for its ceiling scrapers, constructed with igneous rock and frequent use of neon, put signs. Many folks here went about their day, forging weapons, drinking from the juice bars, mining materials, going to school, or just enjoying life. Well, anyway, at least they tried to anyway. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to do that when sometimes a large population and the neon lights makes Igneo an easy target for invading forces. The buildings in the city shook and rumbled as massive stops were heard. A young woman in her mid-20s with orange ponytail hair, young eyes and mouth, and Gainsborough skin was running for her life while holding her newborn crying child. The woman tried hustling her baby, though it wasn't quite an easy feat when her biggest problem at the moment was running from the Giganto Doomba, an oversized 40 feet tall Doomba with extra fangs, a second pair of eyes, and claws hard enough to scratch how do you even pronounce that? Hold on. Ion's Delight? Yeah, I don't think that's right. I'm just gonna move on. The being demonstrated his sleep via clawing through a building twice its height, delivering a roar that shook others in the area. The woman covering her baby's delicate ears as she took a 90-degree turn into a corner in hopes of escaping the beast. It's okay, Barrow. He's here. The woman cried while comforting her child. She was scared beyond belief, but she knew she had to stay strong for her child. But before she could grab her bearings and continue running, a building crashed down in front of her and the Giganto Doomba appeared before her. The creature roared and was prepared to make a quick meal of the pair, the mother screaming and ducked down, covering up her baby as it loomed over her. But as she cried and accepted her fate, a spear came flying and stabbed the monster right in the eye, garnering an agonized scream. The woman got up, relieved, but also confused. "Young lady, are you okay?" The woman turned around to face who she assumed threw the spear. Tall and stocky man with pebble gray skin and short crimson hair covering upwards and spreading to the top, along with a face consisting of pink eyes and mouth, and a short burgundy beard. He wore a set of military armor, which was gold in gold accents, stark crystallized shoulders, and a scarlet red robe, which flowed like a cape. Your Majesty! The woman bowed down while still holding on to her baby. Save the formalities for later. You didn't take shelter, Bronze. I pronounced that wrong. You didn't take shelter. Bronze! A military woman with short bronze hair and blue eyes and mouth approached. Escort this lady and the newborn to the nearest bunker. Quickly. Honest, sire. Right this way, ma'am. The lady named Bronze led the civilians away as the monster finally got the spear out of his eye and growled furiously at its thrower. The king was prepared, however, and held out his sword, blade facing straight towards the enemy. "Hi-ya!" the king bellowed, and the whole army came rushing toward the enemy, equipped with shields, spears, katanas, hammers, gauntlets, etc. Arrows came rushing into the eyes, along sharp stabs to the feet. Giganto Doomba winced in pain, but it wasn't going down without a fight. It attempted to stop on the soldiers, and while they did move out of the way, they were still stunned from the ground shaking. The king, however, knew it was this trick and took a tool from his inventory, a pow block, and threw it straight at the beast. The creature rocked and lost balance at one foot. "Oh, hammers! Strike!" The hammer's wielding shoulders took action and knocked the Doomba off its foot with its huge thud. The harder they fall! Not! He and his army released a massive net big enough to contain such a massive creature, wrapped around it tightly. A set of soldiers took out jars of sleepy sparkles and spread them across the body. Within a few minutes, the Giganto Doomba's eyes slowly shut and stopped trying to break free. When confirmation that was out cold, the army cheered and celebrated. "Good work, soldiers! You all did great!" applauded the king. Civilians came out of the bunkers to celebrate as well. "Long live King Garnet Prescott." That's still hard to pronounce. Prescott. I give up. Garnet let out a hearty laugh and high five some of his fellow soldiers. Thank you all. You're too kind, really," he said. "It's all in a day's work." Yay! Long live the king. The whole setup is revealed to have been Paul, playing with action figures of the Royal Army and miniature replica of Igneo in her castle's rec room. Well, that's a plot of a Spaceballs scene if I ever saw the one. "Oh, yes, King Vespa. You're so beautiful. Lord Helmet, talk next time!" "You didn't see me what I was doing." "No, I wasn't seeing you playing your doll, sir." "God!" I couldn't resist. It just reminded me of Spaceballs. Belle sat there with her, watching in astonishment. Yo, is that seriously your dad? Asked the bewildered bee. Pearl nodded eagerly. He sure is. Daddy leads the world guard across the kingdom, keeping us all safe and happy. He picked up the action figure Garnet. He's brave, strong, never backs down from challenge. He's so much fun whenever he's home. He's the best dad ever. Belle took the figure herself and gasped and all. No kidding. I mean, no offense to my old man. He's awesome too, but yours? He's like the Mary underworld. I can meet this guy. I can meet this guy. She exclaimed. Yeah, I bet he'd love to meet you, Pearl agreed. Though her excitement quickly waned when it dawned on her. If he was home. Pearl sniffed and left the room. Belle followed closely behind. Pearl? Belle continued following through the hallway. Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you like that. It's not your fault, I just... Pearl stopped and gazed at a painting of her family in the throne room. Her mother and her father. And her. Not the biggest family ever, but still a family. One she yearned to be together with no end. I know he's really busy right now. It's been so long. There's so much I want to tell him. Tears begin to flow. Finding the surface, meeting you, everything I learned. Miss him so much. As Pearl sobbed, Belle walked up and put her hand on her shoulder. Hey, as her best friend looked up her, Belle gave a sincere smile. Sure he misses you too. Princess sniffed again. I know he does. Daddy told me many times that I'm the best thing to ever happen to him. Now, it's not like I could blame him for thinking that. Two of them hugged it out and were about to head back to the rec room. One of them got a call from downstairs. Pearl, can you come down, please? Called Ruby. There's a surprise waiting for you. Coming, Mom. I'll be right back, Pearl. We'll be back soon, Belle. Pearl rushed downstairs. Belle stood there, shrugged. Okay. Pearl rushed out at a pace with no casual guard to keep up with. What surprise did her mom have waiting for her? Was a surprise rock magic lesson? A new magic trick to show. New set of toys for the playroom? Was her cousin visiting? Oh, the anticipating just made her run faster to the point of sliding down the stair rails, even if her mom had said no to that before. She skipped over the common room where Ruby was waiting. Hi, Mom. What's this? Pearl's jaw hung open when she immediately noticed it wasn't just her mother there. Standing beside her was the very man she dreamed about seeing again for how long at this point? The days had really blended together for her. The girl has so much on her mind right now. She had to be dreaming, right? If it was a dream, though, Pearl certainly didn't want to wake up. Garnet kneeled down to his daughter's level and held out his arms. My shining pearl. It's been a long journey, but I'm home. Pearl's face shone brighter than the brightest star as she dashed straight into his arms. Daddy! Finally, she was in Daddy's arms again. They were just as tender and loving as they'd always been. No matter how long they'd be apart, she'd never forget his touch. I missed you. I missed you. I missed you. I missed you. It's been forever. Garnet lightly chuckled. Oh, his laugh. The sound of it. I'd say I missed you more. Says, want to make that a challenge? He joked. Pearl giggled as well. Maybe. Pipe in. Cool battle stories you can tell? Did the monsters just give up and run away because you're just too awesome? You didn't get hurt too much, right? Garnet let go of his daughter and pat her on the tough little head. Oh, we'd be here all day if I wrapped up military life. Said Garnet, I'd like to catch up with everything you've been up to. Your mother has said a lot's been happening lately. Well, Pearl's mind raced. Yeah, she'd been waiting to tell her dad everything. But now that he was here, just where would she even start? You see, and idea attached. And Pearl ran back upstairs. I'll be right back. Pearl watched his little girl run off, unable to feel any prouder. Military work was long, grueling, and hard, but seeing little Pearl at the end made it all worth it. She was the light of his end of his tunnel, and he faced challenge after challenge to reach it. Of course, but there was also a luxury of seeing his lovely wife once again, who warmly embraced him and kissed his cheek. Welcome home, my knight. Can I fix you some chunklets after your long journey? Oh, no need, my maid, Ruby. Me and my med has someone on the way. Garnet sat down on a couch. All I need... Sounds like a plan to me. Ruby said as she sat down and hugged him by the arm lovingly. Two of them planned to sit by the fire, relaxing as they waited for Pearl to come back down. Though a certain neat chose the button. Well, if it isn't the periodically absent so-called king and father. Oh, wait. I just realized that was Obsidian doing that. If it isn't the periodically absent so-called king and father. Garnet faced the other couch, occupied by who other than his darker, sin, deadpan sister-in-law. Honestly, I keep forgetting you're part of this family at all. Where his wife looked annoyed. Garnet just laughed it off. Oh, missed you too, Obsidia. Good look on the couch, I see. Obsidia scoffed. At least I'm always here whenever my niece see me. You could have just got, but you just have been gone so often. Pearl gets even more annoyingly chipper whenever you are. She sat up straighter. You know, Ruby had so many better options. She could have married into any of the other royal families throughout the kingdom like our brother did, as is tradition, but no. She chose you, captain of the royal guard, just barely a step above some random peasant. Well, like just because you on my is a academy training paid off from Nagana as he left again. Though his wife certainly wasn't having it. Gee, I'm sorry. Have you ever dated anyone, let alone people from those royal families who suggested? Ruby didn't get an answer from her sister. Jill rolled over her eyes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe considering that before judging my own choices. When are we gonna get a fic where they just start slapping each other? Come on, we need Ruby and Obsidia kind of slap each other, and then Garbage just like just sitting to the side like, yes. Well, yes, indeed, yeah. Yeah, Dad, what are you doing? Go back to your room, young girl. Nothing to see here. Why do I hear hitting? It's wrestling. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. That's just a funny picture. Because I could just picture them just start hitting each other sometime in the future. But you need to actually focus on a story with them. Okay, where is it? Oh yeah. Obsidia huffed and turned away, leaving the royal couple to embrace each other once again. The guard got up once he noticed a particular drawing on the coffee table. What's this? Oh, you like it? Madonna made a drawing of her with her friends. Explained Ruby as Garnet picked it up. Pearl herself was in the drawing, so was a bunch of strange beings that were all supposedly her friends. They were depicted with antennae, yellow skin, 4 arms and wings. Then it was random this one creature that looked like a pink snail with arms sitting in a wagon. They definitely looked straight out of some dream. Granet's face fell when a thought dawned on him. She's made so many imaginary friends because she sold. I'm sorry. I know this is only funny because I know they're actual characters in the story, but like, and to be fair, our father's not there enough, so he wouldn't even realize that about the surface thing. But just going immediately straight to, oh, I'm a bad father. She made imaginary friends. It's pretty funny. He sighed. The poor baby. Ruby's face started to sweat. How'd she go about telling him this? Twiddled her thumbs, trying to think of an answer. Oh, actually, honey? Who are you calling imaginary? Dun-dun! Garnet turned in the direction of that unfamiliar voice at the bottom of the stairs. Pearl was sitting there along with a girl next to her that looked eerily similar to one of the friends in the drawing. Garnet could hardly wrap his head around what was witnessing. Was he just tired? Daddy, meet my bestest friend in the whole world above. Belle! Ta-da! Pearl introduced. Ayo! Graded the bee. Heard you were like the coolest dude ever. Garnet shook his head. Hello. Hello. Wing girl? Ruby laughed. Looks like a huge explanation is in order. And so Ruby and Pearl explained everything. From the day Pearl suddenly discovered the surface world, to discovering lots of new kingdoms and meeting new friends, including Belle, and all the in-betweens. Garnet was totally mind-boggled by the end of it. So you're saying there's an entire second world that we never knew existed at the time. It's crazy, right? Agreed Ruby. Take all the time you need to wrap your hand around it. It took a while for me. So what do you think, Daddy? Pearl jumped up and down. Isn't this amazing? Are you proud with me? Garnet shook his head and cleared his thoughts. I am, sweetie. Proud to see you with your friends. Someone who didn't grow up in royalty. I had genuine friends at your age. I had a feeling you were missing that. And, well, you found it. Even if it was the most unexpected place. Unexpected? More like life-changing, beamed Pearl. I love everything I found about the surface. Though Belle is by far the best. She beat up a whole army of Doombas when it first took her to visit the underworld. She should have seen it. She made him look easy to fend off. Belle crossed her arms and smirked as to confirm. Garnet definitely seemed impressed. Really, huh? You actually did that. You know it. You're looking at a karate. Okay. Well, I didn't want to say. I don't. I didn't want to say it at the beginning, but it is. I'm just kind of annoyed of hearing it like that. I know it's a refer. I know it's a SpongeBob, and I'm not gonna criticize the author for this. I'm just kind of annoyed always hearing this, hearing karate sound like karate because of SpongeBob. Personal thing. Just and I'm not gonna insult the author or drag him anything. I get it's a reference. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Confirmed Bell, she flexed her mother's. I am a one-army gal here. What? I can believe it. You might have some potential of the Force, kid. You're, of course, when you're age, of course. Oh, trust me. Some giant Doombo or whatever couldn't handle the sheer awesomeness of a Stingu Patoken. Belle laughed. I'd be stealing the show. Pearl and her father laughed along as well. Oh, Dad, you gotta see this video we made together. It's really funny and you'll learn a lot from it. Not to mention it with File. Enthusiastic Belle. Funny, huh? I'm down for that. He and the kid started walking upstairs, though, what's a video? It's kind of hard to explain, you'll see. We watched as he went up Osman. What a man. Cydia got up groaning and walked away. Excuse me, well, barf. So that is finally Daddy's Arms. I don't think it's as good as Stargazers. Mainly because I think Garnet's not really as interesting as Platinum. I don't think he's good. I just don't think I just honestly like Platinum better. Because the story just really focuses on his character. While this story kind of just focuses on as a neat Father's Day. Oh, also, Happy Father's Day. Aw, that's just sweet. As a father, it is. It is sweet. Still wish I could see. Still wish I could see this. Anyway, here my thoughts are on the stories. They're fine. If I had to say which one's better, it'd be Stargazers. I just think this one just flows better. I think this one just has some moments that I think it's still good. I'm not gonna say either or bad. The only thing I would really want change is it's completely optional. You don't have to do it because it's such an inconsequential thing. But I think this is I think this one you should have just stretched out to you. Here again, it doesn't really change anything about the story. I just think it just fit this whole sentence much better. But you don't have to do it if you don't want to. On a scale of 1 to 5, Finally Daddy's Arms, I give it 3. Stargazers probably a 3.5. They're functional for what they are, but they're not amazing. And I don't really have anything bad to say about them. They don't really stand out that much. Maybe if they appear more often, because I don't know how many stories they're going to be doing of this. So maybe this might improve in future stories when they appear. As it stands right now, they're good, and I'm fully fine with them. This has been Dark Symphony 7, and cut.